All right, let me keep it 100 with you. This partnership with Belay has been such a game changer. So, 3 months ago, one of my assistants was going on maternity leave, and another one just didn't work out. I was drowning in tasks that kept me busy but not productive. But now I have taken my time back, y'all, my time, my energy, and my peace because I finally stopped trying to do everything myself. My Belay virtual assistant has helped me run my business instead of my business running me. And let me tell you, the ROI on peace of mind is priceless. So if you've been feeling overwhelmed, this is your sign to let go and let Belay help you too. If you also desire to have a summer sabbatical, then let go and let Belay help you too. Text Patrice to 55123 to download your copy of the Delegation Worksheet and Guide. This will help you see how hiring a virtual assistant can transform your business and your life. Because trust me, peace feels better than burnout, and you want to be able to take that sabbatical and get that rest. So text Patrice to 55123 or go to patricewashington.com/belay. That's BELAY. Details are in the show notes. You're listening to the Redefining Wealth podcast with Patrice Washington, and this is the place where you come to each week to learn more about what it means to chase purpose, not money. Listen, if you're brand new here, here's what you should know. In this community, Redefining Wealth is about simply understanding that wealth is so much more than just money and material possessions. That's what we've been sold. That's what we've been told. The true original 12th century definition of wealth says it's about the condition of well-being and happiness. And so every week I leverage the 6 pillars of wealth here on the Redefining Wealth podcast, but also in the Redefining Wealth app, which is free to use on your iOS and Android devices. And in all of our programs, Pillar Mastery, Mastery Momentum, the Institute for Redefining Wealth, to remind you about all the parts of your life that are impacting your finances and your success and the vision that you say you have, even when you are not thinking about it. And so if you want to know more about the pillars, I want to invite you, go to patricewashington.com/quiz. You can take a quick 2-minute quiz and it may give you some food for thought. There is probably a pillar in your life that is impacting everything that you're saying or doing right now very subtly. It's so sneaky and you don't even realize it. So go take the quiz, figure out what the focus pillar should be in this season. And then, of course, we have other resources and tools to help you there. So that's patricewashington.com/quiz. Now, I am so excited today to talk to you about, I would say, a tool that has been near and dear to my heart for so many years. Many people have known me for a long time for my wealth affirmations, which we're going to get into the affirmation of the week in just a second. But I also really love mantras. Mantras are about repeating a word or a sound to aid in concentration, especially something that you're sitting with, that you're processing, that you're meditating on. And for the last almost year, I'd like to say, but maybe it's more like 9 or 10 months, I have been sitting with this sticky. I'm showing it to those of you who are watching on my desktop that says, I won't go back. That has been the mantra for this season. And as I was reflecting on the most popular podcasts from these last 25 episodes in this season, I'll tell you the ones that you guys really resonated with in no particular order, but Make Your Vision Worth Your Consistency, very popular. We'll link to all of these in the show notes. Everything Must Go season. Who remembers when we were clearing out things, we were pruning and shedding as a community in the Redefining Wealth app? We literally saw people having dump trucks come up to their house and remove the clutter. It was about releasing what no longer works in your work, in any part of your life. Popular episode was Redefining Love, how I attracted my ideal partner in 6 steps. Also, Building Conviction with Topsy Van Bosch, which was so good. You got to listen to this episode. And also, Ambition Can't Fix It This Time, which was for my do too muchers, not just my high achievers, but my overachievers, the ones who have been used to pushing through and forcing things to happen in the way that you desire them to, as opposed to being able to attract what you desire from surrender. And I was thinking about a lot of the themes that we discussed in this past season over these last several months together. And I wanted to share something with you that was personal. Really, so much of what I share is personal, but my mantra, the things that we've unpacked on the podcast, are also many things that for me, I'm saying I don't want to go back to that ever in my life. I don't want to work from that type of place. I don't want to engage in relationship in that way. I don't want to build my business in that way. And the thing that I've been meditating on, the thing I've been sitting with, the mantra I've been saying and looking at on my own desktop every day is, I won't go back. And the thing is, most of us lead with memory. We can say anything, but our memory will say, but this is how you've always done it. Our memory will say, but this is what's always worked. Our memory might say, but this is the thing that keeps you safe, right? Most of us lead with memory, but what we're being invited to lead with is our mantra. That's what the greater vision that is calling us forward desires for us. Because memory can try to pull you into what was, but mantras pull you into what's possible. They're pulling you forward and saying, listen, there is something ahead with your name on it, but you can't keep turning back to what was familiar, to what was safe, to what was comfortable, to what was tolerable, to what was acceptable in a past season of your life. I'm sharing my mantra in the hopes that it will inspire you to create your version so that you can continue to move forward powerfully and gracefully. But before I get into this full breakdown about I won't go back, let me share with you the affirmation of the week. This week's affirmation is, I am allowed to evolve without looking back. I won't go back to what I've outgrown, no matter how familiar or comfortable it once felt. The divine disruptions I've experienced were never punishments. They were invitations to evolve, to pause, to listen, and to realign gracefully. I now crave flow over force, clarity over confusion, love over tolerance, and joy over just checking the boxes. What I release, I bless. And in doing so, I create space for something richer, lighter, and more soul aligned to take root, because that is redefining wealth. I won't go back because what's ahead of me honors who I'm becoming far more than what's behind me ever could. So declare with me today, I am allowed to evolve without looking back. If that affirmation spoke to you and you're watching this on YouTube or LinkedIn, I need you to drop something in the comments or in the Redefining Wealth app. Drop something in the comments because I felt it just as I was writing it. And I feel that so deeply in my soul that this is not the season to turn back, even though there is so much noise and so much uncertainty and so much scarcity and so much fear being pushed all around us. Yet there is still something that is calling you forward, right? And we want to have these mantras and these different resources that we can cling to and that we can use to help us to continue to move forward. So my journal entry around I won't go back read something like this, and I won't read the full things, but I will share a few of the bullet points. I won't go back to complexity and complex systems, emotionally, logistically, spiritually, or relationally. I crave flow, ease, and soul aligned structure only, because joy is my portion in this season. I won't go back to relationships rooted in confusion, manipulation, or delusion. I won't go back to ever funding frustration, giving my energy, time, or money to things that are misaligned and do not serve me or my business or what I'm called to do in the world. I won't go back to swallowing my truth, because my voice matters in business and in life. I won't go back to not honoring rest or prioritizing my peace and my joy. When we create these types of mantras and fill in what that means to us. These are not decisions. They are sacred boundaries. They are governing decisions that will dictate how we design the next season of our lives. Many of us stay in frustration and we keep looking back and we keep looking to what has worked in one season, even though it makes us uncomfortable. It doesn't feel good. We feel out of sorts. We keep looking back because we don't have anything grounding us to look forward. Everything that we do at Redefining Wealth now, it really centers around having an ignited, aligned vision. This is how Pillar Mastery, which is a wonderful program, if you haven't checked it out yet, pillarmastery.com. Pillar Mastery is really centered around you having an ignited, aligned vision for your life, something that inspires you and sparks joy from the inside out, so that no matter what else is going on in the world, there is still something that is pulling you forward. And as you're being compelled, as you're being pushed and nudged to keep going forward, it is so important that you don't keep looking back to what was, what it could have, should have, would have been. You know the drill, right? What you thought it was. It always reminds me of the story of Lot. And if you don't know the story, essentially, he was asked and his family was asked to flee. And listen, I'm good at paraphrasing the Bible. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, I've never been a Bible scholar, but when I understand something and I get the gist, I move with it. All I know was his wife looked back. Maybe she was looking at their old house. Maybe she was looking at their old car. Maybe she was looking at all her clothes, all her jewelry, all her Chanel bags, all her red bottoms. Who knows what she kept looking back for? But in the story, she turns into a pillar of salt. And I feel that for us in this day and time, in this season, many of us who have been called to an everything must go season, many of us who have been called to pivot, many of us who have been called to shift, keep looking back and going, but this is how I always did it. And this is always what worked. And I used to have, insert whatever you used to have. And while you are allowed to grieve the things, the people, the possessions, the titles, all the things, you're allowed to grieve all those things. Can we agree that if they were still supposed to be a part of this season, you would have them? Can we agree that potentially what is up ahead is much greater and requires your focus and your ability to surrender and your ability to dream a new dream? Can we agree that if we say we believe that all things work together for our good, even some of the things we had to leave behind are a part of all the things working together for our good? I believe that mantras are more than just positive phrases. I believe that they're an opportunity to disrupt patterns. I believe that mantras are a way that we have something quick and one line and punchy that we can go to, that we can see, that can shift us before we break our necks looking back at what was. Because our minds like to default to past programming, to default thinking, to old conversations. And when we start looking back, we start romanticizing the behaviors, the relationships, the possessions that we left behind, because we get spiritual amnesia. And we start to romanticize, well, it wasn't that bad. Maybe I should go back. Oh, they weren't that mean to me. Maybe I was overreacting. He didn't cheat all the time. We had some good times. Maybe I acted a little too hasty. We start to go back and create all these conversations. And the reality is, why. If you're radically honest, why you had to make the choices you made to move forward. My mantra is I won't go back. I don't know what your version is, but I know that you need to have some type of version. Again, a sticky note on your desk if you have to. If you have to remind yourself to disrupt that spiritual amnesia and that loop that you put yourself into when you're like, oh, maybe it wasn't that bad. Let's stop. For me, I won't go back is like putting a mental stake in the ground. It is a conscious choice to disrupt any type of self-sabotage, limited thinking, romanticizing, over spiritualizing, intellectualizing, anything that I would do that would help me dishonor myself and my soul. It is an opportunity to disrupt the fear that gets so loud. It is an opportunity to interrupt the doubt that starts to creep in once you've made a decision, not being content with the decision. So when we say these mantras like, I won't go back, we're not resisting a behavior. We are reaffirming a new belief, or we are reaffirming a belief. We are redefining, right, our behavior. We are literally saying my past no longer has authority over my future. This is a part of what the faith pillar is all about. This is why we have scriptures or stories or examples or testimonies that we can go to. Because when you think of when you saying something like, I won't go back, you also have to find evidence of people who didn't go back, right? Who may have been in a bow and arrow season, like we've talked about. People who may have had to take a few steps back. If you feel like in order to move forward, it feels like you are being restricted and you have to take a step back, bow and arrow season, embrace your bow and arrow season is another powerful episode I suggest you listen to while we're on our break here that is coming up. Look at stories and examples of people, of women, of visionaries, of thought leaders, any stories you can find. And trust me, when you set the intention to have those types of powerful examples before you, God will bring people on your timeline. You will randomly find things in your algorithm. Now, those things you may stumble upon, but you can also go search it out. You can also go seek it, go find it. Seek wisdom, find wealth. Seek Wisdom is the name, right? My Instagram handle, and Seek Wisdom, Find Wealth is my company, because we get to go find the people who've been able to illustrate that this is possible. When you feel like it's just you, when you feel like you're the only person in the bow and arrow season, and think of an archer who has to pull back in order to prepare, right, to be an arrow that won't miss the target. That pulling back is strategy, it's preparation, is slowing down so you can speed up, so you can accelerate. It's really making sure that you're focused and you're targeted and you're clear. Some of us are so afraid of that. That's not the type of going back. Bow and arrow season is one way to go back, but that is with an intention and a clarity and a power that I am in preparation season, and I will be an arrow that can't miss. When I'm saying I won't go back, I'm saying, again, I won't go back to complexity. I won't go back to making things more difficult than they need to be. I won't go back to relationships rooted in manipulation, delusion, or confusion. I won't go back to funding frustration and entertaining and tolerating people who don't honor me. I won't go back to swallowing my truth, to holding my tongue, to going along to get along, to trying to force myself to be in spaces, hoping that people see me. I won't go back to not honoring rest or joy. Those are mine. What are yours? What are the things that you are willing to believe you can release and not have to look back on, and still have everything that God has for you? What are the things that you won't go back on? Because it takes courage to say enough is enough. It takes courage to say I'm releasing this clutter. It takes courage to say I'm defining what relationship looks like and feels like for me in this season of my life. It takes courage to define your faith for yourself. It takes courage to chase purpose, not money. Not saying that you don't make money leveraging your purpose, but that you don't make decisions from a place of fear. You make it from faith. You make it from purpose, not just for the paycheck associated with it. These things take courage. And I do think it takes courage to rest. Last year, I didn't take my summer sabbatical. There was so many things that were going on. And I realized that for so long, I spoke about my sabbatical as if it was just about Reagan. And now you know that my daughter, by the time you hear this, she will have graduated last week. And, you know, for so many years, it was all about her, and that was beautiful. But the reality is, I still need the sabbatical. With or without her, I still need the rest. I still have to practice what I teach. I still have to model that, even just for me, just for Patrice, without it being for anyone else, I have the right to rest. I have the right to pause. I have the right to take a step back. What's going to happen to the podcast? We will see. I know it's coming back. As a matter of fact, I'm excited about how it comes back. But I will not be a prisoner to purpose and displace my own soul in the process. That is not the goal. That's never been the goal, but it's what a lot of us get sucked into because of all the noise and all the advice and all the gurus and all the well-meaning guides out here who say, oh, if you don't publish a podcast every week, your people will forget about you. The people assigned to me can never forget about me. That's just what I choose to believe. So I won't go back to even entertaining that as a belief. Oh, if you don't send 2 emails a week at Tuesday at 10 a.m. and Thursday at 5 p.m. and catch people at these particular times. No, listen, the people who are supposed to open what they need to open will open it when they need to open it. As a matter of fact, I believe the people who are assigned to you and need you the most, I believe in having an email list. Ooh, let me just say that. A lot of y'all get my emails. I'll continue to email. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying this over attachment that we have, that if we don't do things just the way some guru laid out or just the way some coach told us, that we're doomed, is ridiculous. One of the best things I could have taught my daughter was that she could create the most authentic success from being authentically herself, from a place of joy, from a place of curiosity, from a place of love and service, and being just a good person. And that you may not have every system dialed in and every strategy to a T, and you could still create a wonderful life, and you can still create magnificent success in your life and create something that you are so proud of without running yourself into the ground and without burning out. And she believes it. She earned her flag football scholarship from a place of joy. I won't go back to modeling anything different for her, anything different for your children, for you, for any woman in particular under the sound of my voice. I won't go back. I can't go back. We need more people demonstrating and illustrating that you can have a voice, that you can do good work, that you can love your life, and that you can leverage these 6 pillars of wealth to raise your vibration, turn up the dial on your vision, and do what is necessary according to your definition, not external validation, not external thoughts and ideas and opinions, but according to your definition, your vision, your desires, and have what you desire. I know that it's true. I know that it's possible because I'm living it, but I want to live it every single day without question, without even considering straddling the fence, and without going back, which is why I have my mantra on my desk and I meditate on it and I journal about it. And I wanted to give voice to it in the hopes that you would join me in doing the same practice, or, your version of it, to support you. It's all about making sure that we don't police the things that work. People have tons of strategy, but I really think that we undervalue the inner work and the conviction and the clarity that we need to have, which is why so much of my work has gone more towards personal development and financial wholeness, because I want us to be abundant overall, not just with material wealth, because I've seen it too often. I've lived it. I've coached it. I've supported. Listen, people who have all the financial wealth, maybe not making millions and millions of dollars, but they have a lot of disposable income and they have great revenue, but they don't have the health, the relationships, the faith, the space, the purpose to their lives to sustain it in a way that feels peaceful and joyful. That's what I want for you. So that's what I'm going to keep talking about. And I'm really excited because next season I have decided to go back to a video podcast. And I mean, video like having our guests come here to Atlanta and sit down with me in person. There's an energy about that that just brings me such joy. And I figured out how to make it happen in a way that feels good to me. And I'm grateful for the pivots that I made, for the shifts that I made to get back to a place of genuine joy. So when you see us again in August, we're going to have some new looks, a new cover photo or cover art, I should say, a new set that's being built. And we're going to have powerful conversations from women who are living authentically, but who have allowed themselves to pivot in so many different areas in many of the pillars we're going to have demonstrated so that you can have real tangible examples of women who have gone before you and maybe a few good men. I'm deciding. Maybe a few good men as well. But I just wanted you to know and be prepared for the fact that, yes, for the next 2 months, we will be on our summer sabbatical. I'm so grateful for the rest that I will get, as well as the rest my team gets to get. Even as we prepare for the next season, it'll be a beautiful 8-week hiatus for us. But I want you to know, you can still stay connected, because even though the podcast is going on hiatus, something that gives me such joy is doing the daily lives in the Redefining Wealth app. Since December 15th of 2024, I've been in a 365-day consistency challenge. At the time that you hear this, I will be on about day 160 or something like that. And I have gone live every single day to be a blessing and a benefit to our community. So if you still want to connect as well with me, as well as connect with purpose chasers from all over the globe, you are invited to come into the Redefining Wealth app. You can download it for free on your iOS or Android device. It's so interesting. It's funny to me. Every time, someone ends up catching me for the live, they go, I've been watching you on YouTube for years, or I just finally downloaded the app, or I finally decided to come in closer. This is so nice. You guys are so nice. Yes, we are a genuine community. I will also be doing Purpose Chaser pop-ups throughout the summer as I travel. One of the things that I absolutely love is to meet purpose chasers. This year, I've already done Dallas and Newport Beach. I plan on doing some more. We have to figure out San Diego and a few other spots based on where I'm going. And I love that the people in the app really inform that based on where they are. If I know I'm going to be somewhere, I absolutely want to show up, connect you all with one another. But it's an opportunity for me to just hug your neck and tell you thank you and look you eyeball to eyeball and allow you to tell me what Redefining Wealth and the 6 pillars of wealth have done in your life. There's no sales pitches. There's no conference. I'm not teaching anything. If anything, we're doing a group activity, or we're meeting up over some chips and salsa and just talking. And it's just a nice time, because that's who I am and that's what I enjoy. And so if I'm not going back to complexity, I'm going to keep it simple. If I'm not going back to any of the other stuff, I'm going to run into what I really love. And Purpose Chaser meetups have always been my jam. You can also still consider Pillar Mastery. Coming on in to Pillar Mastery. It's an amazing course, and it is the foundation of redefining wealth. If you know that there is something that feels off and misaligned, and you've constantly been going to take business course after business course, and you've been doing all of the things for your professional development, I want to invite you to consider that there may be some personal development things that you need in this season. The other parts of your life are running more of the show than you actually know. They might be doing it quietly. They might be doing it subtly. There may be some unsupportive beliefs, some misaligned thoughts, some things that are just not matching up to what you say you actually want and desire. And Pillar Mastery, now self-paced with lifetime access, And access to our pillar assessment is a wonderful place to start. When you take the pillar assessment, it literally breaks down your percentage in each one of those pillars. And then it shares with you what the building blocks are so that you can get a game plan going for which pillar needs your support, but for what in that pillar needs your genuine attention so you can set goals with more intention. And pillar mastery is just a beautiful way to move through each one of the pillars and really redesign your life. Because again, we don't want to just keep living by default. It's time to live by design. So you can still do life with me. We just won't be here on the podcast. But again, with over 25 episodes in this season, there is so much for you to catch up on. The top 5 episodes plus Embrace Your Bow and Arrow season will be linked in the show notes if you want to catch up and see what comes up for you as you listen or re-listen to those episodes. But remember, these mantras that we create, they are like a mental stake in the sand. Memory and how it's always gone has been running the show for way, way too long. Memory will keep pulling you back into what was. And I want you to have a mantra that pulls you toward who you are becoming, what is possible, and what is next for you. So mine is, I won't go back. But what is yours? I would love to hear it. So feel free to share it with me wherever you can get in contact with me. Again, in the YouTube comments, LinkedIn comments, or in the Redefining Wealth app. Take your choice. And remember, this is all in service of you being able to redefine wealth for yourself. What does it look like for you? What does it feel like? What can you no longer tolerate? And what is the most expansive version of your vision available to you at this moment? Dreaming is free. Steve Harvey used to teach me that. Dreaming is free, so you might as well dream big. What can it look like? And in order to have it, what can you no longer go back to? I hope that this season has been a complete blessing. Next season, there is so much in store. I can't wait for you to see all the new things that we will be cooking up. And I pray that you continue to stick around. And if you feel assigned to this community, that you come back and get ready for a brand new season and the kickoff to our season that will celebrate 8 years of Redefining Wealth. I'd be remiss if I also didn't invite you to Redefining Wealth Live September 12th through 14th. Come and be immersed in all of the teaching, all of the love. The VIP ticket, which is our golden ticket, means there's only 44 people in the room in an intimate space because that's how I like it. That's the thing that brings me joy. And our general admission tickets, you can join from anywhere in the world because general admission means virtual. And so you can be with us for 3 days. I will be in a full studio, so you are going to have an amazing experience, even when you join virtually. We're doing Wisdom Circle breakout rooms, and you'll have an opportunity to talk and share and do the work in real time. Redefining Wealth Live is not a space where you just come and listen to me talk for 3 days straight. You could binge the podcast, right? Like, it's not that. It is an immersive experience. There are so many exercises. There are so many interventions that I walk you through in order to help you get off autopilot, awaken, right, to the things that no longer serve you. That means arise from slumber and say, hey, this is not working for me. And as I won't go back, I got to identify the things I'm not going back to. So that's what we do day 1. Day 2 is all about redefining. If we're not going back there, where are we going towards? What does it look like? What does it feel like? I need a game plan for what I want exactly and how I'm going to get there, and the conversations that I may need to have, as uncomfortable as they may be, in order to help me walk out that truth. And then day 3 is about actualizing. What things do I need to have in place in order to really walk this out and be able to hold everything that I say I desire? RedefiningWealthLive.com is where you can go for more information. At the time of this recording, we're down to 17 tickets left out of the 44 golden tickets. I want you to have one of those tickets. Come to Atlanta, join us in Buckhead, the center of Atlanta. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And I would love to have you there and be able to share that intimate space with you where we can look eyeball to eyeball and do the work in real time. And then, of course, you have your virtual tickets. So check it out, redefiningwealthlive.com. Okay. I really do think that's everything. I usually say next week, until next week. But what I have to say now is until next season, I want you to go live your life's purpose, find fulfillment, and earn more without ever feeling like you have to chase money. I'll see you in August. Bye.